What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got a bunch of great Nintendo Switch RPG news and a bit more. But before we get into that, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos first. Now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now starting off with some interesting news out of the UK, the Nintendo Switch might not be the most technologically advanced platform on the market, but it's definitely the most profitable according to a new report. So the Switch is the most profitable format for all of entertainment in the UK. Interesting on that front. Despite a 12.5% dip year over year, Switch beats out DVDs, Blu-ray, and CDs, and it's even just ahead of vinyl. The console's box sales hit £88.7 million since January 1st. To compare to other gaming platforms, PS4 and PS5 combined was at £79.6 million for the year thus far. Xbox software sales, comprised of both Xbox One and Xbox Series X/S box games, are at £17.8 million. PC follows significantly behind. Now you guys are checking out the chart that I have right here, and it's very interesting to see that because back in the day, not even that far, like with the Wii U and the 3DS, Nintendo was pretty far behind PlayStation and Xbox in the UK. I've said this before if you've watched my sales videos or discussions, the UK was never a super strong area for Nintendo. They always had better penetration and better uptake in places like France in Europe. So the fact that the Nintendo Switch is doing this well above what even Microsoft and Sony are doing, really even kind of combined at this point. Well, not quite, but almost. I mean, it's incredible to see, and even in front of CDs and DVDs and vinyl albums, which are huge when it comes to collectors and people just liking to enjoy their music. I mean, yes, it's not as big of a market anymore because of the streaming market, stuff like Spotify and stuff like YouTube Music and stuff that's kind of taken over that market, but still, it's not like there isn't money being spent there. Now, yes, there was a negative 12.5% change, so it was a dip from before, but this is the first time that I've even been hearing about this. I had no idea that the Nintendo Switch was the most profitable medium when it comes to entertainment in the UK, and it goes to show you how solid, or at least how I would say sound, Nintendo's plan is for software and hardware, because they've been able to supply enough software to keep these sales up and to keep people still interested despite the aging tech of the Nintendo Switch compared to Microsoft and Sony. You have to put out a large amount of software because Nintendo Switch does not get the amount of big third-party games that Microsoft and Sony get. So to see Nintendo Switch still up there at the top is very interesting. But what do you guys think about this when it comes to Nintendo Switch being the most profitable format of all entertainment in the UK? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to what shocked me about Persona 5 on the Nintendo Switch, we finally have some screenshots and some information about the Nintendo Switch port for Persona 5 Royal, which is going to be coming out on October 21st worldwide. So if you go on the Japanese eShop, we've got some new information on Persona 5 Royal. The game is only 12.5 gigabytes in size, which is three times smaller than the PlayStation 4 version of the game. That is absolutely incredible. This is something that I saw numerous people say in my videos, online, everywhere, that the Nintendo Switch wouldn't be able to handle Persona 5 Royal because of the file size, because cartridges, because of this, because of that. There was every excuse in the book before Persona 5 Royal was officially confirmed, but now we're looking at it and we're saying, wait a minute, they used even less space than what was available on the 16 gigabyte cartridge, because they're still going to have to use a 16 gigabyte cartridge for this game. Now, we still could see that the Japanese audio or something you have to download extra. Now you'll have the full game in English or whatever country you're in, you'll have the full game on there, but we have to wait and see some of the extra downloads and stuff or what they're going to do. But either way, 12.5 gigabytes all on the cartridge where you can play the game, no issue at all, because that is going to be a 16 gigabyte cartridge. There is no 12 gigabyte cartridge for them to use or anything like that. So it's going to be on that 16 gigabyte cartridge. That is incredible. The fact that they got it 3 times smaller than the PlayStation 4 version. Now, the reason why that they did, probably if you're looking at it, you got 30 frames per second, you got 720p, probably native on there. Maybe there's dynamic scaling. We don't really know just yet. Maybe it's 900p with dynamic scaling. We just don't know. But maybe that's the reason why the game is a bit smaller on that front. But still, very good nonetheless. Then you will be able to play it in pretty much all the different modes. We have the tabletop mode, you have the docked mode, and you also have the handheld mode, which is what I'm going to be playing Persona 5 Royal at most of the time. The game does seem to be full priced or near it, so brace for that price tag when it comes to the West if it hasn't already been confirmed as the time that I'm talking in this video. And also, there are some new screenshots as well for Persona 5 Royal on the Nintendo Switch, which also shocked me just a bit because it looks extremely clean. It looks extremely clean and nice from what I'm seeing. I don't see too much of a downgrade just in these screenshots that are on Twitter and from the official eShop. So obviously it's not going to be as good as the PlayStation 4 Pro or as the Xbox Series or as the PlayStation 5 versions of the game, but it still looks like it's going to be very competent or comparable to the PlayStation 4 version of the game. So I'm actually kind of shocked that they got everything the way that they've got it at this point, and I'm very happy to see that it seems like this is going to be a very competent port of Persona 5 Royal on the Nintendo Switch, because there's going to be millions of gamers, because I think that this game is going to sell millions of copies even as a late port on the Nintendo Switch. There's going to be millions of gamers that are going to be playing this portable or handheld, so they need to make sure that that runs and looks the best that it can possibly be. So awesome stuff all around. Hopefully everything turns out here when it comes to Persona 5 Royal playing and running smooth, but so far so good when it comes to the file size and also when it comes to the screenshots for the game. So it looks like it's finally tuned and optimized for the Nintendo Switch. But what are your thoughts when it comes to Persona 5 Royal's file size and also the first screenshots for the game? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys, we've got a brand new update for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is pretty important because it fixes some things and definitely helps out with the playability of the game if you've ran into some issues. So a new update for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 1.1.1 is now live, and it has quite a few fixes for the game's more recently discovered bugs and glitches. Notably, it removes a soft lock possible by beating a specific enemy early, fixes the cooking mechanic to make it function again, and makes certain previously unobtainable items now normally obtainable. Now here are the patch notes. I will put them up on screen for you. The things that kind of stick out to me is the cooking issue. People brought that to my attention, I think last week or so, that cooking doesn't work as properly as it should work when it comes to some dishes or something. I've always had no issue with that. It seemed like it always worked just fine for me whenever I used the cooking, but maybe I was off on that, or maybe I didn't activate what caused the issue. But I'm very happy that they fixed the issue with cooking, because cooking is a pretty vital thing to do in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 to make sure that you get your boosts, or if you're looking for a certain item faster, or whatever the case is, whatever type of benefit or bonus that you want to get, cooking's very important, and it's a core gameplay mechanic into the game's function. So I'm glad that they got that fixed as well. Some of the big soft lock type of things after certain enemies, that is not fun at all. When you get soft locked and maybe, you know, there wasn't an autosave anytime soon, or maybe you just didn't save the game yourself, that can be bad. Luckily, Xenoblade Chronicles 3's autosave is very good. Fast travel, it saves. Most of the time when you do certain things, it saves. So you'll never really lose too much on there. And of course, they do have the cloud saves as well if you have the Nintendo Switch Online. So Thankfully, there hasn't been too many issues with that, because I know with Shin Megami Tensei 5 with no autosave and people losing time and all that, there were some issues. It would suck. So I'm glad that Xenoblade hasn't quite went down that route. So that's definitely good. Now, there are some other things. It says, in addition, several other issues have been fixed to make the game more enjoyable to play. So I don't know what those are, but I know that Senna still says, "I'm the girl with the gall" or whatever multiple times. So apparently those are enjoyable, and they did not fix any of the dialogue and stuff like that. Now, I still need to download the update and test things out, because when the update went live, I was already in the middle of playing and I couldn't really just stop what I was doing, but I'll definitely test it out. And if there's anything else that I notice within the game, I will make sure to report back to you guys. Or if there's anything that you guys notice as well, let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to take a look at it. So everyone can go download the update right now for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm very happy to not have to report on multiple different updates to fix a million different things like in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So they did a great job with the game of this scope and scale of making sure that everything ran good, looked good, played good, and there wasn't a lot of issues at launch, because there tends to be a lot of issues at launch for big open world games, you know, when it comes to the modern sense. So very good there. So what are your thoughts when it comes to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and this update? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. Another big Nintendo Switch third-party game has somewhat shocked me when it comes to how it looks. Virtuos has done an incredible job, because we've got a brand new trailer for Nier Automata on the Nintendo Switch. So Square Enix is back at it again. Another Switch trailer, Nier Automata, the End of Yura edition, and this time we are taking a look around the city ruins. This is a desolate city eroded by greenery and decay, and is now occupied by machine life forms and wildlife. Square Enix notes how there are many parts to be explored, as the city lies in the very center of the connecting zone. So a little bit more about this game, because this is a very late Nintendo Switch port. Nier Automata came out multiple years ago on PlayStation first, then also on Xbox, and the game is still just as good as it was then. I played it on the PlayStation 4. I do like it. I don't like it as much as some of the other Platinum Games titles like Astral Chain or Bayonetta, for example, but I do like it. I do think that it's a good game. Now, if you want some more information, you can check this out. Nier Automata, the End of Yura edition is the Nintendo Switch version of Nier Automata, an award-winning post-apocalyptic action RPG that has achieved deep-rooted popularity around the world, which is true. The game sold, I think, over 4.5 million units on just the PlayStation 4 alone. Invaders from another world attack without warning, unleashing a new type of threat. Weapons known as machine life forms. In the face of this insurmountable threat, mankind is driven from Earth and takes refuge on the moon. As 2B, a member of the newly organized android military force Yura, players will immerse themselves in a ferocious battle to take back the planet. Experience a captivating story that goes beyond a simple entertainment, inspiring a wild array of emotions as it unfolds through genre-binding action in beautifully desolate open world. So very good stuff here, guys. Nier Automata, the End of Yura edition, launches on October 6, 2022. It's got some exclusive Nintendo Switch outfits and stuff like that. The game is looking great in this new trailer for a Switch port of it. Obviously, it's not going to look as good as the other versions, but they've done a great job, and we have to give the props to Virtuos. This team is phenomenal with open-ended games on the Nintendo Switch. Final Fantasy ports were great, now also this one as well, so we have to give them some props. They've done a fantastic job. But what do you guys think about Nier Automata, the End of Yura edition on the Nintendo Switch, this brand new trailer? Are you impressed with this? Are you planning on picking up the game? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. GrimGrimoire once more. We've got an official confirmation for the West in this game. So NIS America will release GrimGrimoire once more for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch in spring 2023 in the West. The publisher announced it will feature English and Japanese audio with English text. Now, the game, a remastered version of the Vanillaware developed PlayStation 2 real-time strategy game, first launched for the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch on July 28th in Japan. The Western release is the first appearance of a PlayStation 5 version. Now, pre-orders for the $89.99 limited edition are now available at the NIS America online store, which includes a copy of the deluxe edition, hardcover art book, 2-disc soundtrack, cloth poster, acrylic display, set of 4 keychains, set of 5 art cards, and collector's box. It's a beefy box there for all the collectors. So, from the developers at Vanillaware, these guys did 13 Sentinels, Odin Sphere, Dragon's Crown. They're phenomenal. The PlayStation 2 strategy game GrimGrimoire is being remastered with brand new features to explore. Join aspiring mage Lilith Bland on her journey within the Silver Star Tower, a renowned academy for magicians. All is not what it seems inside the tower walls. Mysteries, monsters, and menaces lurk about. Harness the power of magic to dispel the secrets hidden within the tower and discover the truth of the Silver Star Tower once more. Now, the key features in the game, you have spellbinding strategy, magical fantasy meets real-time strategy in this beautifully drawn adventure filled with classic Vanillaware charm. Enchanted enchantments. They're enchanted enchantments. That means they're better. GrimGrimoire once more expands on the Vanillaware classic with a brand new skill tree, improved user interface, art gallery, and so much more. Alluring augmentations. Experience the bewitching adventures of Lilith Bland, now with remastered graphics and beautifully hand-drawn visuals in high definition. You guys are checking out the trailer as well for the West, and this is great to see. GrimGrimoire once more. It was one of those very interesting titles back in the day that I never even knew about, you know, without the modern media, because it's the PS2 era. It was not quite the modern media that we see at this point with all the different social media injected into the regular website, so I just never heard about this game back in the day, but it definitely seems like something that I want to check out because the gameplay looks wild in here. It looks like it could be a lot of fun too. So, what do you guys think about GrimGrimoire once more launching in the West, spring 2023, PS4, PS5, and the Nintendo Switch? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and we will see you for the next video. Peace.